What's happening, guys? This is Chris Riley from Riley Ruffs. Today I'm going to show you how to make a photo into an organic pop art display. So for my photo, I chose a great picture of Lana Del Rey. This picture works very well because the subject inside, its head is reaching the top of the bounding box and it cuts off at the shoulders. So that's kind of what you're going to want your picture to be like as well, a portraited face image of your subject to convert into a pop art display. So we're going to go ahead and take the photo and we're going to launch it into Photoshop by clicking and dragging on the icon. And there it is. If the photo is in color like mine is, the first thing that we're going to want to do to match it up well with the halftone pattern we're going to do later is we're going to want to desaturate it completely. Essentially, it's like a soaked washcloth and you're rinsing it out in the sink. This is what we're doing with this photo. So to desaturate it, you're going to hit Control-Shift-U on a PC and Command-Shift-U on a Mac. And there we go, making sure that the photo is cropped so it just shows the top of the subject's head and the shoulders. Now we're going to need to make sure that the size and the resolution will be the most effective for the filters that we're going to be using later. So we're going to want to go up to Image Size. We're going to click the chain link just to make sure that it locks the aspect ratio. Mine's already locked, but if it's unlocked on yours, go ahead and click that. This keeps its proportions intact. So we're going to change the width to 500 pixels, and then we're going to do the resolution pixels per inch 72. Now to fit the image back into your screen, it's going to be keyboard shortcut Control-0 for a PC and Command-0 for a Mac. Now I don't really like it that close, so I always kind of zoom it out a little bit, but your work area is your work area and you can do as you see fit. Now just to desaturate it a little bit more and to bleach it as much as possible, we're going to want to make the darkest areas black and the whitest areas white, just to kind of emphasize where the colors are at in the spot healing process. So we're going to invoke auto tone by pressing Control or Command Shift L. And that kind of bleaches it out a little bit more. You can't really see a difference right now, but trust me, it would make a pretty great difference in the end final project. So now we're going to need to make a separation from the subject from its background. Now there's many ways to do this, but I prefer the quick mask. So we're going to go over here to the pencil tool. We're going to make sure its size is 10 and its hardness is 100. You can double click in there to change the hardness, or you can simply move this up and down. Same with the size. So we're at 10 and 100. Then we're going to go down here and we're going to go ahead and click the quick masking tool. So and then we're going to want to go ahead and draw loosely around the head and the shoulders. When we're done with this, we're going to go ahead and open up our paint bucket tool and we're going to go ahead and click on to Lana where the mask was drawn. Then we're going to want to press Q to change the quick mask into a selection. Again, that is just the letter Q on your keyboard. Then we're going to want to press Control or Command Delete to fill it with white, which is going to be our primary background color. Again, that is Control Delete on a PC and Command Delete on a Mac. Then we're going to want to delete the section by Control D on a PC or Command D on a Mac. Then after this, make a copy of your image by pressing Control J on a PC or Command J on a Mac. And now we should have our background and we should have our layer 1. While you're selected on layer 1, we're going to open up that fun little filter gallery up here at the top, filter. Then we're actually going to go into filter gallery. We're going to want to make sure that we're under the sketch folder and we're going to select halftone pattern. We're going to want our size to be 1 and our contrast to be 40. And we're going to want our pattern type to be dot. Now make sure your size is 1 and make sure your pattern type is dot, but in the contrast you might want to play around with it a little bit to see how it fits appropriately to your image, because I'm not sure of the colors and so forth that your image contains. So just kind of move it around a bit and see which one looks the best for your liking. So I'll probably just land at 29. When we're done with this, we're just going to hit OK. So now there should be a good balance of shadow and highlight with just enough midtones as halftone dots. Now we're going to, while still on the layer 1, we're going to go back up to filter. We're going to go to sharpen. Okay, so sharpen. Then we're going to click on smart sharpen. This over here a little bit. Now we're going to want our specs here to be 500% for the amount, close to 1 pixels for the radius, and reduce noise all the way down to 0%. And we're going to want to remove that Gaussian blur. When you're done playing around, go ahead and click OK. We now have a crisp black and white halftone portrait of Lana Del Rey. So we're going to change the blend mode on layer 1 to multiply, just to get those colors to pop out a little bit more at us. So now while we're selected on layer 1, we're going to go and make a new layer. It's down here to the left of the trash can. We want to make our new layer underneath layer 1. So to do that, you can either drag layer 2 underneath layer 1, or you can drag layer 1 on top of layer 2. So we're going to want to be on our layer 2, and we'll fill this empty layer with the color. By clicking on your foreground color to open the color picker, here you can kind of mess around and see what kind of colors that you want your pop art to be in for the background color. For this image, I'm going to go with purple. Once you've got your color in your foreground, go ahead and get your paint bucket out and just click on. So now that we got our background color, we'll do the skin next. We're going to click on our foreground color box once again. And for this example, I'll type in F7 CEV7. This has always gotten me a pretty good skin color. Then we'll click on OK. Then we're going to want to access our pencil tool again and just start coloring in the skin. So go ahead and fill in her, just color on her skin with the skin color we got here, and don't be so concerned right now with the eyes, lips, clothing, or jewelry. We can paint them in over the skin later. So if you make a mistake while you're painting and you need to paint back over the color, the best thing to do is to press I on your keyboard to open this eyedropper tool. Click on the color, press B to access your pencil tool again, and then left, right brackets will adjust the size of your brush. And then we can go ahead and smooth that out where I made a mistake. So from here on out, it's really just trial and error on your part to go into these, to be on your pencil tool, go into these foreground colors, click colors that you want, and to use the size brackets. That's what's going to help you the most in pop art while you're painting the image, is to use these brackets. Use the brackets on your keyboard. Left is smaller, right is bigger, and just begin filling in her face with the proper colors that your creativity is telling you to use here. And here we go. We've got a pop art of Lana Del Rey right here. I mean, it looks great, and this in itself is going to be its own piece of about 4 other pieces on one image. It's kind of divided up like that. But, you know, why not take the time and the precision and detail it perfectly to get that perfect image quality that you're looking for? So another thing that you probably should make sure that you're painting, just for the pop art's sake, is to make sure to pop up their lips. So make sure that you're painting the lips, the hair color, and then you're sometimes going to want to put just an extra type of like eyeshadow or some type of makeup right there as well. And for this particular image, brass knuckles were really kind of the focal point of the photo. So, you know, you got to put them in like a gold color or just something to make them pop a little bit. So this here is the end of our Lana Del Rey pop art. I'm not going to show you how to do the rest. Maybe I'll show you another tutorial later on how to align a document to fit in 4 different images to make one perfect JPEG of a pop art like this. But, you know, it's really just, you know, I've already gave you basically the essentials here of making the pop art. You know, so to give it that pop arty look, if you ever wanted to silkscreen print it or posterize it, just for something to put on like your apartment bedroom wall or something, you know, you would just have basically the same type image as this image here of Lana Del Rey, but you would pop it in again, maybe change that background color to a more blue, kind of like in this picture of Marilyn here, and then keep experimenting like that. And that's kind of what gives it that retro tiling look behind Marilyn's head. And then you kind of just change some things around as well with the face. Maybe try on a different makeup of Lana, or just do different types of coloring with it, and then eventually you'll kind of have that appearance as well. So this has been the tutorial of how to do a pop art. Again, why don't you go ahead and turn down the contrast a little bit next time you do it, just so it's a little bit brighter and there's a little bit less of a PNG and pixelated look. I'm pretty sure that it's just the contrast that you would mess with like that. So yeah, go ahead and do a few more of the same image that you had, maybe just 3 more, and kind of change the lipstick color and jewelry color and the glasses color, and then open up a US paper document, drag all the images onto that one, and you should have something that looks like this, and you can print that off and you'll have a pop art poster. So thanks guys for watching. Make sure to like Riley Ruffs on Facebook, follow Riley Ruffs at Twitter, and make sure to hit that pesky little subscribe button below. Thanks a lot, guys.